like night and day.
Hey, y'all, we going way back down in the wood now. We going way back down in the swamp now. Hey, y'all, fais attention là. Hey baby, haunted thing. Oh yeah, forget him out. Oh yeah, forget him out. Why hella, have it one. Why hella, have it one. Go on, blow your horn now, Fred now. Fais attention la baguette, aïe aïe aïe. Et c'est matin. Pombro, Iberi, Port Louisiana, Houston, aïe aïe aïe.
Today you have younger musicians, younger generation playing Zydeco music, which is good. One young gentleman that I try to help, you know, to get him on his way. Nathan and the Zydeco Cha-Cha. People that never been in the business, you know, like grocery store business, turn around, which is brother El Cido's, Sid William, turn around and build a club to help this music out. El Cido's Zydeco and Blues Club.
I had been open about 6 months. Me and BUCKWHEAT got to be even better friends. I had been knowing him before. He said, Sid, every time I used to go to dance, he said, yeah, Sid, one stop. And we kept on. And I'd been in business about 4 years. After I'd been in business about 4 or 5 years, he said, you know what, Sid? He said, you ought to build your nightclub. I said, no, man. I said, I don't want to get into no nightclub. I said, nothing but a hassle. We opened for Mother's Day about 5 years ago. BUCKWHEAT flooded the place. I mean, the people was rocking. So about a month after that, I said, well, BUCKWHEAT said, what I'm going to do when you're leaving? He said, look, I'm helping Nathan get things started. So he gave Nathan a cardigan and started practicing and showing Nathan this and that. Next thing you know, we had a little house band.
Hey baby, haunted thing. Hey baby, haunted thing. Oh yeah, get him out. Oh yeah, get him out. Go on, blow your horn again now, Fred.
Boozoo Shavers was cutting the album over there for Rhonda, and they wanted BUCKWHEAT to cut. So BUCKWHEAT said, I can't cut because I'm with Island Record. He said, but I got a band, a good band that you could use, a young band, coming up band that I could really use. So BUCKWHEAT called me on the phone and said, look, man, Rhonda Records is good. But I had been met Mr. Scott Billing through BUCKWHEAT. You understand me? And everybody we met was, hey, BUCKWHEAT really turned his arm and he took care of us, you know? And everybody I met was through him. So we met, we done that live album, him and Boozoo. And then Rhonda Records said, well, hey, we like Nathan, so we're going to do our own film. So they turned around and done Steady Rock, which has been a great seller for Steady Rock.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. How about it for Nathan and the Zydeco Cha-Cha, the Steady Rock man himself? Thank you. Thank you.
carry a pistol. I got to keep that on me because that's keep law and order around here. It was real rough when I got here. They said, well, we're going to run and sit out of here. I said, well, when y'all going to run me, y'all going to see my blood running on the parking lot. And they just, after I just had to get in there and weed them out. And now we made a nice neighborhood out of this. We don't have no thugs hanging on the street in front of here or no junkies out there selling dope. We don't have that around here. We just have to weed them out. That's the way it is, just like my daddy. See, a lot of time when the gangsters come into town and want to run us out of town and say they're going to take over the store business, they're going to take over the club business. Mr. William is just like my daddy. My daddy been there 21 years, okay? Mr. William will come and talk to me. He said, Sid, look here. Chill out, man. He said, don't get upset about them guys. He said, them people going to take care of you. Just don't get upset. And a lot of times when I think about doing something bad to them people that want to run us out of business, I talk to Mr. William and, you know, he tell me, he said, Sid, chill out. Just be cool. That's my right-hand man. That's who take care of me. And we're not even kin. His last name is William and my last name is William. We ain't near kin. He's my best neighbor. When I leave to go out of town on vacation on a business trip or go see about some business with Nathan, I give him the keys to the store, the keys to the club, before I give it to one of my brothers. Just like that's my right-hand man, Mr. William. My man, in other words. Hey, yeah. That's my legal advisor.
All right.
People is getting to know the difference between Zydeco, which is the black traditional music here in Southwest Louisiana, and Cajun music. And one time, you know, I had a tendency of believing that Cajun and Zydeco music was the same, you know, but it's completely different. You know, I'm not a Cajun, you know. I'm not Cajun. So I'm black, you know. So I'm not an Indian, you know. I feel that if I'm Cajun, then my identity is gone. You know what I'm talking about? You see, you know. So I'm Afro-American, you know, back from slavery to the United States, you know, as slaves, you know what I'm talking about. And so those are my roots. This is me. You know.
I make a change in your life and make it for the better. Now don't you wait no longer. It just set you back, brother. It's not for the young, it's not for the old, it's not for the quick crazy, it's not for the bold, it's not for one generation, it's for the whole damn nation. I say the whole damn.
You know, Cajun is Cajun. You know, white's white. Creole is Creole. You know what I'm talking about? The language I speak, French Creole, you know, nationality black. That's what it is. From the day I'm born till the day I die, right? A lot of things have been changed, you know. A lot of food that is happening right now. Like most of the time you hear a lot of stuff about Cajun cooking, Cajun this, Cajun that. Okay, nothing wrong with this, but the thing is, it's a matter of principles. You see, a lot of things that are being cooked, that have been cooked way long before now, been black traditional food, you know what I'm talking about? Creole cooking, you know what I'm talking about? Which now you get in the restaurants, you know what I'm talking about? You have a Cajun etouffee, you have Cajun chicken, you have Cajun barbecue, you have Cajun beans. I even one time seen Cajun ice, you know what I'm talking about? But it's only to make $1 bill, you know what I'm talking about? But they're losing their identity, you know what I'm saying? And the thing is, you get in the kitchen, and all the cooks are black. That's the come when I do any gig, like I tell my agents, do not use Cajun to promote this show. You see, but it will be canceled, you know? Because if you want Cajun music, you order Cajun music. You see? Now, if you want Zydeco, black traditional music, then that's what you order. You say, well, do you know what a Cajun is? I said, no, so I said, I don't. You see? You see? Because why don't you call me today what you called me a long time ago? Black.
One time or another.
The store built the club, the store built me, the store built NITE, the store put me in my house. The store has been good to us, you know. One day I'm a butcher, the next day I'm a bartender, the next day I might be doing a film with somebody or doing on the radio talking. The next day I might be a politician. The week after that I might be playing the accordion. The week I might be going to New York talk to somebody. So the store is all originated from the store. Without the store wouldn't be nothing. Without God wouldn't be nothing in the store. And I always say my motto, God and $1.
You know, Holy Ghost Church is one of the largest church parish in the country. It's over 10,000 people that's a member of Holy Ghost Church. So it might be a small building, but as far as membership, it's the largest church in the country. And the unique thing about that, the Zydeco Festival was started with some member of Holy Ghost Church who started talking about the festival and start talking about really what we could do about saving the Creole artists, the Zydeco artists.
Pre-Zydeco was Creole French music, black Creole French music, which later became Zydeco. Zydeco was still a clear vein of Creole French tradition, and people got interested in it too, and just wanted to see, you know, what is it? There is no age limit. It's young, old. It cannot be described as or compared to any type of music. You know, even country music, there's a certain age limit where it goes and then it stops. Rock and roll too, jazz too. Zydeco isn't.
Well, I read at the 11 o'clock Mass every Sunday. That's the Mass I go to. All the other Masses are not like that one. Church. It was traditionally a European church, and now we're sort of going back to our heritage, you know, Africanizing it or we're putting our heritage into mass, which makes it more enjoyable. We can express ourselves. And now our masses start at 11, and we usually go 11 until, you know, so sometimes 1:30, sometimes 2 o'clock. But it's a way of really feeling free and feeling good and worshiping God. With the Zydeco Festival, you know, our pastor, former pastor, Father McKnight, who was instrumental in getting the Southern Development Foundation together, and Holy Ghost sponsors the Zydeco Festival every year. And that's a big thing around here because we get to see and hear all of the artists, the old artists, and the new ones. And we really jam on the Zydeco Festival. My wife and I work the Zydeco Festival every year, and it's a big thing for us because now we have our own festival. It's our own music, our own people are there, and it's real nice. That's the big thing here, the Zydeco Festival. That's where we can really let go.
Pero varios va torno coração e l'occasion se présente va tourner des moissoirs et promis de pas boire pour continuer la terre. Il n'a pas rien que moi j'aime comme continuer les fonds.
The reason we really started the festival is because Zydeco artists was dying. Nobody was promoting Zydeco artists, normally because it was black, Creole-speaking people, and people didn't really have interest in exposing them. It was only recognized in the Southwest Louisiana. Other than that, hardly nobody knows nothing about Zydeco music. And since the festival, people is traveling all over the country. You know, the Zydeco music is known worldwide now.
The reason to have a triangle and a Robin boat on stage. People been talking about Zydeco and this and that. When we first started, it was the accordion or fiddle sometimes, but the triangle was there. And when it got to the double and triple note accordion, there came the Robin boat.
So that's what makes Zydeco something that you can understand yourself.
Catch a heat stroke today. Yeah, you're right. Come on, Blazer. Got a dog hill. All the put him there. Get on the ground. Oh, oh. Oh, oh. Oh, oh. Oh, oh. I'm a loser. Unit. Oh, down. Oh, these pieces. We're going dog hill. Where the pretty women at? We're going dog hill. Where the pretty women at? Hey, the pieces. Ow. Oh, oh. Oh, oh. Oh, oh. Oh, oh. We're going dog hill. Where the pretty women at? We're going dog hill. Where the pretty women at? Hey, the beat, ow! Oh, oh. Oh, oh. Oh, oh. Oh, oh. Yeah, you're right. Tout le premier jamais. Avec Clifton CHENIER. Oh, oh, oh.
L'autre vient ici le samedi au soir, tous les 15 jours, pour joindre Boozoo. C'est lui qui est le top man à cette heure-là. Vous autres allez avoir du bon temps, vous autres allez venir danser, et sa musique, il va faire tout quelqu'un danser. Yeah, il est bon, lui. Oh, le Boozoo, c'est lui là, qui les fait brailler.
I made 59 months. I was 59 years old. And when I started when I was 9 years old messing with it. But when I got 12, 13, 14 years old, I was getting pretty good. When I hit 16, I was good. I was playing dance 16 years old. I was playing hot dance. Made the first album in 1985. And it come out in 86. Made another in 86. Come out in 87. Made another in 87. Come out in 88. Then we made another with Ronda record. Me and Nathan on half. You know, one side, he on the other. And since then, how you call that? There was a story about, I used to know how it go, y'all. God made earth, and then that's something like God made man, and God made woman. Since then, no one has rested. You know, God made the land, he made all this, he made Adam and Eve. And since that, when they put Adam and Eve in the garden, you know what I'm talking about. And since then, no one has rested. You know, I used to know that voice with that. I used to know that story, but I haven't forgot it. Yeah.
Come on, Papa. Come on, D.C. Come on, Monday. Come on, Monday. Come on, Papa.
The ingredient for music, for Zydeco music, is that you probably have a little reggae, you have soul music, you have blues, you have spiritual, you have Creole, you have a mixture of all kind of music into Zydeco music. I think that's why, you know, that the first beat, people want to start dancing. They have so much combination out of it in there.
if anything is tied in with, say, Zydeco music in this area, food. Food is a definite, is in everything, every activity, every function, every meeting. As Will is under the board of another festival international. Every meeting we go to, you're gonna eat. I mean, it's just there. So it's always a type of welcoming type thing.
Bébé Cacacon, on donne mon coup. Pas mon je vais faire avec Cacacon, mal le cochon pour toi. Mal le cochon pour toi. Malé, bouillé. Je ne pas tous les années. Put a yoke around my neck. Squeeze me, baby. I do that like a thing. I'm on for you, baby. I'm home for you, baby. I'm on a railroad. You don't love me no more.
The nightclub, Slim Waikiki and Richard Alcedo.
You're listening to K77, KJCB, Lafayette, Louisiana. I'd like to say good afternoon to you. I'm Lester Tebow. I'm playing the very best of Zydeco right here on your power station. Double the fun, triple the music on K77. Well, we're going to talk about Clifton CHENIER for you at this time. Clifton CHENIER was one of the great Zydeco musicians in Southwest Louisiana. He recorded many songs, Black Girl, Paper in My Shoe, and Oh Yeah, My Little Girl. And matter of fact, all the Zydeco music that you hear today, that all recording artists, Zydeco artists are playing, there's some of the songs that Clifton CHENIER that first put out years ago. They all took after Clifton CHENIER. He was like a tree. He was the tree of Zydeco. He will always be remembered as the king of the Zydeco.
What make you doggone it so hard? I had a mind no see you. Oh, you hate so hard. You know I love you. You know I love you, baby. And I'll tell you what I do. I had a mind on to you. Oh, you hate too hard, hard, hard. Oh, yeah.
And when Cliff came here, he the first one that brought Zydeco here. Zydeco had been so long, but it had went dead.
nobody never worried about Zydeco anymore. But when Cliff started playing Zydeco, he played it such in a jazz way. He played it with rhythm. That's what made Zydeco so popular. The Zydeco, he played it with a lot of rhythm in it. And it made it more better than what it used to be. This man there was something that I wish you'd see it. I wish y'all would see him play. It's unbelievable.
Oh, black girl. Oh, black girl. What make you dog on head? I had a mind.
We're gonna miss one of the greatest, which is Clifton. You know, the last time he played, he knew he wasn't coming back because he cried before on his last performance, which it's a bad scene, but you know, Clifton was the man, you know, and we're gonna miss him.
You notice my dad, he was king of Zydeco, but he had so much blues in him, it was a shame. He was a blues man. We used to ride around and you hear him sitting in the seat humming to himself, some kind of blues, you know. He just, I don't know, he wasn't just Zydeco. He was an all-around musician. You know, Zydeco was his specialty. Even when he was sick, and you would find him not being able to play the blues as well. When I think it's easy to play the blues, but when he played those Zydeco, I don't care if he was sick, well, it didn't matter. He always can play those. Listening to him and watching him, I kind of picked up on what he was doing. But I never sat down and tried to learn what he was doing note for note from his record. I learned by listening to him live on stage, which when he was playing live, he never played the same song the same way in the 2 nights anyway. It was always different. I'm just so glad I got my hands on Black Guy. This is my pride and joy, and it's not gonna ever leave me. It has a sound my dad was always crazy about. It's a sound, it's called musette tuning. It's where you have three reeds valid off. Each reed is tuned just a little bit off to create this wavy sound in it. And it's called musette tuning. You know? That's the musette. I like that sound. It's a pretty sound. My dad used it a lot. But there's this other sound, a lot of accordions have flat sound. You know? I don't like that. It's too flat, and anytime I look for a accordion, I look for one with musette tuning. It's just better sound. By the way, that song, I'm Coming Home, I think that was my dad's favorite song. That's a song he'll go for his mother. But she didn't get a chance to hear it because she passed away before he finished it. But he sang this song every time we played. And that was one of the few songs that he played every night.
Ambrose is my brother, and the Sam brothers is my sons. And we plays everywhere, also for trail rides, Now what trail rides is all about, that it's really just good time for people. That we have good time out of it, and dances on the night before, and then we goes on out way, probably 7, 8, 10 miles. Everybody is riding wagons and horses and having a nice time, drinking all kind of beverages.
And remember the day I left home. I wanna start all over again, y'all. I'm coming home. Leave my dear old mother. That's why I'm home.
day I left home. Y'all turning their backs on for me. I'm coming home. Meet my dear mother. Oh, that's one woman. Oh, she loves me. I know she really do. I'm coming home. But I feel so all alone. I'm coming home. Meet my dear mother.
If you want the point of the music, you take the Cajun music that is just in one key. It's no changes. And it's just one beat. But you take Zydeco, they got changes and beats in it. And it's a different in Zydeco now than when I was playing. This is what they done. It's just like you season up food good and put a little flavor in it, and that food's gonna be better than if you just cook it on that way and not a good season. So that's what I'm calling Zydeco. And anybody will listen after this different like night and day.
Like my brother said, it's a big difference in the Cajun music and the Zydeco. That's what we really play, the Zydeco. But we got more beat to it. We plays more than one key. You know, just in one music base, we changes it. It be changed a whole lot.
each newcomer comes up and do a little more the blues, a little more the blues. And you get some of these bands can do maybe 2 songs of Creole or French, and that's really not keeping the tradition. We want a little blues and rock, but we still want to keep the old French Zydeco in there, really Zydeco. And with my band, we do mostly Zydeco. We do a little blues and rock, but we do a lot of Zydeco, Cajun music. I have my youngest son, the one who plays the accordion, Gino. He sings French and speaks French, like all my kids do. The problem is, a lot of the youngsters can't speak the French. And I think Louisiana is really a silly state or something like that. This is the French, that's where everybody speaks Creole, you know, and they don't have Creole in school, you know, they don't teach it. Should have classes, Creole classes in school, where the young generation can speak the Creole and keep going with the language. But it's not so. Now, my kids speak French, but how many other children speak French in the area? So they can't hardly play the French music because they can't talk it.
To the late great King Clifton CHENIER, always and forever.
Wednesday night, spend an evening with Kathleen Battle and Thomas Hampson live from Lincoln Center. Be in your front row seats Wednesday beginning at 7:30. Now it's Charlie Rose.
I'm gonna tell you good evening. Hope y'all enjoyed the music, baby. That side got to move a little further down. Yeah, you're right. We done run out of time.